And welcome back to Mecha Madness. I am not your host, but I am joined by your host, Skull Error, aka Fred, aka Spank Me Daddy. I've been a bad boy and haven't done the sideshows in a couple of weeks, and he's been waiting on my ass.
Hey, well, the first half is true. They won't lie. They had us in the first half.
How's it going, Skull?
It goes well. It has been a fortnight. Or, well, I should say,
No, that's a video game. Wrong topic there, buddy.
yeah, that's true. I was going to say, it was longer than Uzumaki's fucking expired milk in his first season.
I'm just waiting for I'm waiting for the day that they put some Gundam, just to spite you, put some Gundam in Fortnite, so all of a sudden someone sees Optimus Prime and goes, or no, not Optimus Prime, but puts Gundam in Fortnite, and someone goes, "Is that the guy from Fortnite?" And you just smack him.
Local news, 5-year-old was really beat up by a 30-year-old.
So,
you're not far from wrong, because I do want to smack the a-hole who was in the press, who said that when they made the live, what was it, 1-for-1 model scale of the RX-78, they called it a transformer in the West, and I'm like, yes, you people really know how to do your research.
So, episode 2's been a long time coming.
Yep.
We've been going through some changes over on the Lambency show. Mike has taken on a lot more responsibilities, and I've had more time, and I've been loading up the site. So Mike's got a lot more shows going on than he did before. So, we're proud of him. We're proud of everybody who's been pitching in. And as far as the website and everything, I have been, and Skull Eric can confirm this, I have been a madman as of late. We have been releasing what seems like an article every single day, as well as, releasing a few new items each week that are well thought out for our merch shop. So, Skull, what have you been seeing as of late between Mikey and myself that that's got you excited?
Well, Witcher Mercury is coming to its conclusion this weekend, or by the time this comes out, it'll probably be around, what is it, the third for or for the Western audience. So can't wait.
I meant for the Lambency show between
well,
Mikey and me. I feel like we're having a repeat of the conversation we had earlier today.
Look, I can't take social cues as well as I can't okay?
I meant overall, from what you're seeing from Mikey and the rest of the team and stuff, and everything that's been going on as of late. What has anything caught your eye, or you happen to see anything in particular, or?
Well, currently with my sense of the involvement with the Lambency show, alongside with Mikey's D&D sessions that we're currently posting up on YouTube, thanks to our good old editor here.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm too lazy to edit D&D. Oh wait, never mind.
But yeah, so far participating in those D&D sessions have been pretty much something I've been always eyeing at. Fortunately for me, being the first guy, well, let me not spoil too much of the campaign. We can all see how I got heartbroken so early.
So tell us, what do you have in store for us today?
Alrighty, well initially
I should preface this by saying, like Mikey, I know Jack diddly squat when it comes to Gundam and its greatness. So I'm just an observer here, providing additional commentary and looking pretty, but you can't see it because I'm too lazy to put my camera on.
You think you're going to be a co-comment, you think you're just going to be a spectator, but I'm going to drag you into this as much as I did, Mikey.
Oh no. It's a good thing that I just barely paid attention to what. I still have no idea what you're going to throw me into.
It's not like you were the one who had to set up the slides.
I know. It's not like I had to set up the slides at all. It's not like that was one of the reasons we're delayed here. It's not like I sat there and thought it was going to be so much harder than it actually was. Because, because it's not like I was like, I'm one of the few people that never had to make a slide, so I don't know actually know how to do it. Look, it's not like I turned around and took that experience and turned around and was like, oh, it's actually pretty simple. It's rather, it's some could put it, it's just simple economics,
Some would just say, just push the button, forehead, come on. Anywho, yeah, for the most part, I'm really keeping it. Plain and simple, like a gym. Those poor guys can't stop getting shot. So who am I to judge when the guy loves taking bullets to the face?
This is true.
Anywho, so today's event is basically the good, the bad, and the ugly. We're going to show up 3 mechs from each timeline for the most part. I didn't want to go too far into every last timeline because we will be here all month, so I decided to do it like that.
You know, see, here's the thing. For those of you who are listening and listening, if you are a fan and you have a certain type of anime that you particularly enjoy, take Skull as a perfect example here. We know that this is his area, this is his corner, so you leave it to him.
Fine, you touch me, come over there and I blast you.
Oh well, the thing is, we don't mind helping him out, and maybe we report on it if we, if we were into that kind of thing. Luckily for you, this is just not our forte. But, there's definitely things that, like, someone might approach on someone else, so on and so forth. But generally speaking, we have our own resident experts on. So that's the thing about us and stuff, is we try to cover as much as we can. Anything in the anime sphere, so I like having a specialist in the Gundam because Mikey and I have no fucking.
Don't worry, all you gotta know is drop a giant asteroid to the fucking Earth because they deserve it.
I think you just mad because
99% of the antagonist's plan. If it didn't work the first 50 times, keep trying.
Listen, I'll keep to my high school DxD anime reviews, okay?
Yeah, don't worry, there's enough fucking waifus in there for you.
As always, this is brought to you by thelambencyshow.com. Head on over there and stuff to check all of our podcasts, our anime reviews and articles, as well as every one of our socials and our shop. All right, let's get the show on the road, Skull. What do we got?
All right, first slide, we got the classic series of our good old friends, the RX-78, the Jim Custom Sniper, and the Zaku 2 Shard color.
I'm going to take a wild guess and say the 78 is red because there's a 97 on green and a 102 on white.
Alright, I'm going to be honest, that's more like the faction, or what was it called, the unit that they're in.
Okay, this is false advertisement. I'm already out of here. You guys, I'm out. I provided my 2 cents for this episode.
Anywho. So basically the whole gist of this is we got a good guy, we got a neutral unit, and then we have, or I would say, a grunt unit, and a main antagonist unit. What I'm going to ask you is, which one of these do you think is white?
I'm going to say bad guy is red, neutral is green, and the good guy is white.
Good. 100% accuracy on the dot there. So, who do you think is actually fighting who the most?
I'm going to assume that the good guy is fighting the bad guy the most.
Well, yes, you're not wrong. But which one?
The white is fighting red.
Yep. So, the RX-78 is basically... I went with the more recent HD revival of the redesign, or what was it? I guess would be the HD revival of the original series.
To be fair, I would be a bad guy too if I looked over at the white guy and realized how lean and mean he looks and realized that I need to go on a diet.
Fun fact, that red one is actually more mobile than the white one.
Then he's just lazy, okay? he does aerobics and that's about it.
Man does gymnastics one time, suddenly has the ability of a plus 2,000 cheating stat.
No, you know what it is? You know what it is? The good guy and stuff is one of those who has really good genes. So the one in red is the one who works out all the time but can't ever seem to shed the weight. And the good guy is just like, yeah, I worked out like 3 years ago. I'm good to go.
Meanwhile, the Gym Sniper the Gym Sniper Custom is just, hey guys. What's going on here? I went with the Gym Sniper mostly because of the fact of the matter is, it is an interesting grunt unit design. I would have gone with like standard Gym, but it's just red on the shoulder, like basically the white limbs, exactly like the RX-78, but with a red torso, solid red torso, which nothing really stands out amazing of that, but the Gym Sniper 2 is completely beautiful. So, who would you call ugly, who would you call good, and who would you call bad in terms of the design?
Honestly, the only one that I think design-wise, doesn't even look that good is actually the one in red.
So who would you call So you call him the ugly?
Yeah, I'd call him the ugly.
So who would you say is the bad?
The good and the bad?
Yeah.
Oh God, I couldn't really decide. I'm gonna have to say the good guy only because I don't like the color scheme.
You hate the green and gray?
No, I mean, yeah, the good guy, I'm putting him in bad because I don't like the color scheme. So the white and blue, I don't like the color scheme. There's too much white in it. It would have been, I mean, if you're gonna do that much of one solid color, it's gotta be, with all those other things, he would have been better off changing his hands to like white and then his what is white to black, and it would have come across looking so much better.
Man, I'll be honest, you would be completely what that test group would been like, man, he's the one that we didn't account for. Because originally the RX-78 original color scheme for the Mark 1 version was red, black, and yellow. Main body was completely, like, all limbs and included was black with a bit of a red accent, where the current red is.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, where the current white is on him here, if this is black, you change the hands to white, the helmet would probably have to go black as well. And you can even keep the red feet and the rest of, the markings and stuff, and it would have looked pretty dope.
Yeah, later down the line, I will show you a different one of the RX-78. That is the one that was initially the original color scheme. They only changed it to red, white, and blue to try to appeal to
America. Fuck yeah.
Yep.
Kicking your ass and taking numbers later, America.
I take it the Gym Sniper 2 custom is probably like the most winner of the bunch.
Honestly, I like the sleek design. It's not too overly colorful. That's exactly what I was talking about. Like, if you have, one or two colors and stuff, they gotta be something that, it doesn't, it stands out, but it can also kind of like blend in, if that makes any sense.
Yep, still keeps like a more tactical.
Sometimes simpler is better.
Yep, and I agree with you. Alrighty, so you heard it here. Zaki is the ugliest son-bitch ever.
Well, it doesn't help that he has a shark fin helmet.
Well, in his defense, that's his communications antenna.
Well, now we know his weakness. Cut that off and he's fucked.
It's also the signal, or what was it? Their way of symbolizing who's the commander.
Again, cut that off and he's fucked.
Anyways, next group. And now we move on to the post 1 year war line. The Zetas. Gundam Mark II, the Zeta Gundam, and then the Psycho Gundam Mark II. Or Mark 1, actually. This is the Mark 1.
Alright.
And he's just all over the place fumbling with that last one, isn't he? What an expert.
I know, right? You're fucked. That's it. I'm putting in my 2-week notice.
That's it. I'm putting my 4-month notice. Anyways, so there's Gundam Mark II. This is why I'm confusing it, because there's a Gundam Mark II and a Mark 1. So the first one is the Gundam Mark II. And then the Zeta's in the middle, and officially, naming this correctly, is the Psycho Gundam Mark 1. But to clarify, the reason why the portrait is the way it is for that Psycho Gundam is the fact that it's supposed to be like, what's the best way I can describe it? If you ever vaguely remember how the Twin Towers stature is, that's how tall that thing is compared to all the other mobile suits.
Fair enough.
So, the one in the middle and the one on the right have the ability to transform. The one in the middle can transform into like a Wave Rider jet form, and the one on the far right can transform into what is essentially just, hey, look at me, I'm a flying sky fortress. Meanwhile, the Gundam Mark II is just basically the upgraded version of the original Gundam in the previous. Nothing really too major about him.
Fair enough.
Alrighty, so it's time to name them by ugly, good, and bad.
Honestly, I like to, even though I generally speaking like plain and simple, the black is just ugly. They did not do it well.
Yeah.
That's hideous. Honestly, it would have been better if front was a little bit different, but this just looks like I'm assuming that's like exhaust for the fortress flying thing that you're talking about.
No, those are shotgun beam weapons.
It's ugly placement regardless.
Yep.
The bad will probably be the middle. I like the simple color scheme and the simplicity in first design.
Yep, I agree with you. I love the Gundam Mark II. It is such a beautiful upgrade to the original. You give it like a bit more of a bulk to its legs, a little bit more bulk in its shoulders. It genuinely feels like it actually got enhanced in ways that the original couldn't.
And then on top of that, he's got a shield. A nice looking shield on top of that.
Oh yeah, I gotta also add as a note that shield on the Zeta in the middle is hilarious because It is actually the nose for its Wave Rider mode. So if it were ever blown up, I'm just sitting there like, so what happens if it gets blown up? Is he just not aerodynamic?
Apparently not.
Alright, there's not really much to say for this generation line. They had their strong points, but they also had their very low points. A lot of it being this series was designed to be more Transformer-esque with your robots.
Fair enough. All right, I guess we'll move on to slide 3. What do we got?
We got the sequel to Zeta, Double Zeta.
Oh, God.
Original name.
Not the designs.
Oh, yeah.
It's a fucking headache. It's hurting my brain.
So, I'll be honest, I can't remember the name of the one in the middle. It's so forgettable to me.
We'll just call him Emerald Ruby.
Yeah.
You know, from like Final Fantasy VII, the original.
Yeah.
They're...
So, going from left to right in the order, that's the Double Zeta, which is technically the upgraded version of the Zeta Gundam in every aspect, including the worst design palette that I would have to say. It's a triple combiner.
Yeah, I don't like it.
It has a little fighter jet cockpit, which would go inside the torso chest piece and then connecting it to the waist of the legs. Mind you that the third piece is literally interchangeable because anyone operating like a sub-core fighter connected to either of the other limbs can literally do the same thing.
Fair enough.
But it will never make sense to me why they ever made it separate 3 components when they can literally have it sitting in the docking bay at fully assembled. It's not a tall mobile suit by any means. It's just very chunky.
All right. And the
middle one is like technically it's considered a category of a unit called mobile armor technically, but it comes with like wire guided arm sole protrusions, I guess would be the term for it. It's capable of just having it fly around a little bit while wire guided to shoot at a target at a different angle while the opponent's focused on it. Have you ever seen like Dark Souls and stuff like that, how like some enemies like have like obstacles and collision stuff on the side and they're just mainly having you focus on them too much and something on the side hits you? That would be simply similar to that. And then the Gaza C on the far left or right. My mistake. Literally the grunt unit of the one faction called the Titans. Or, yes, it was the Titans. I'm sorry. Sometimes they, later down the line, they start mixing who has what in the factions because they're using old stuff as the years go by. This unit right here has the ability of transforming itself into, like, in a sense, like a little fighter jet. But apart from that, it's nothing really too major. Now, let's see what you criticize them with.
Honestly, the good's gonna have to go to the upgraded one on the far left, but that's just because it's the only one. Out of all 3 of them, it's okay, but it's not great.
It wins by default.
Yeah, pretty much wins by default. I think the bad, I'm gonna have to go with the middle. I don't like the design at all, but I like the color scheme. I think the color scheme's pretty awesome. So we'll give it the bad, but the design's fucking terrible. And we're going to give the awful to the far right because its color scheme and its design belongs in the end of Bondi's Island, which, you know, Bondi's Island is for lack of a better term, it's a shit factory. It's where your shit goes to get cleaned so it can become clean water. And that's where it belongs.
Poor guy. Alrighty, so that's the Zeta line for you. Don't worry, there is no trilogy to the Zeta.
Listen, I would be a bad guy too if I looked like that.
Because you're a bad guy did not make you a bad guy.
Moving along.
And then we go to the AFMS team. This is a series that went a little bit more conventional on the whole real robot type of style mechanics where really mundane stuff like sand actually gets into the gear work and everything when it comes to it traversing in the desert and stuff like that. So then currently, the one on the far right, well, I'm going to go from right to left this time. The Gundam ground type is basically nicknamed the Gym Head for this one because they used the standard mass production Gym Head to replace the Gundam Head that got destroyed later down the line in the series. The one in the middle is called the Goof Custom. This is a more modified version of the original Goof. The difference that makes it from the Goof makes it the Goof Custom versus the standardized Goof is you see that one cannon on his left arm. Imagine that as 5 individual fingers. So before, the major fundamental flaw with that unit was if it ran out of ammo in its arms, it literally could not pick up a standard weapon then because the arms were just too chunky then. So the operator pilot of this decided, hey, I don't like that design, so let me just go ahead and put regular fingers on this thing and just strap on a cannon to the arm like a normal person would. And then we have the original core line design of the Gundam ground type. It's basically a specialized for on Earth surface dispatching only. So if it was to ever get sent into space, it would be basically unfit for combat. Mostly to do with the fact that its propulsion system would be non-existent because it's only based on its backpack. And it also comes with a shield that's more designed for skirmishing and melee and close quarters, which a lot of space combat, you know, for the sake of dramatic and anime moments, predominantly they don't do close quarter combat.
Fair enough.
So basically, left and right are just the replacement model, or left and right side is just virtually one of the same. It's just one of them got the unfortunate necessity of being nicknamed Jim Head.
Wait, which one got Jim Head?
One on the right.
I kind of figured.
All right, this one's probably going to be a little bit obvious, but go ahead and name your ugly. You're good to end the book.
Ugly is Jim Head. The design itself, like the body and everything, I don't mind it so much. It's the fucking head. The head just throws off the entire thing. You might have been able to get away with it if it wasn't for that head.
Yeah.
That I think I was actually going to go on the far left, believe it or not. It's not a bad design. It would win, generally speaking, and any other kind of generation that I've seen so far. However, this blue demon-looking motherfucker actually looks pretty dope. I wish his head was a little bit bigger, but other than that, like, I like it. Cannons for fingers, fucking spiky horn elbows, and all that other shit. I mean, shoulders. I like it.
Man, you should see the pilot on that mobile suit. Noor is just a really good ace for that suit. He took care. His objective was to destroy 3 artillery tanks. He took all 3 of them down while toying with the main squadron you're dealing with. That man, even when he took an L, he was still winning. And I was just like, man, there's no other way of being like, I don't care what happens, I'm winning.
Alright, moving along.
Yep. And now we move to the Gundam Seed era, which, depending on who you're arguing with, this could literally be a hilarious pick, or it could be just god-awful. Alright, so from left to right, we got the Gundam Strike, which honestly is the most bare basic redesign for the RX-78 line that I could ever imagine. Then we have its sister unit, the Aegis Gundam, which is a mobile suit that has the ability to transform itself into one massive cannon to destroy ships. And then we have the Astray Red Frame, which is basically a mass production redesign of the Strike and the Aegis. I'm not really going to talk too much about these because I'm not really too keen on them. I just use them for the sake of filler.
Fair enough. So then, I guess we'll do good, bad, and ugly, huh?
Yep.
I'll start off with the bad. I think far left is bad. I don't like the design overall. I mean, the ugly. That's going to be the ugly. Bad is going to go to the middle and stuff. I like the design. I'm not a fan of the colors. Nor am I a fan of what's going on in the shoes. Take away the little spikes in the shoes and change the color scheme. Maybe do like a gold and black kind of color scheme instead of the pink and black.
Yeah.
But do it like black where the pink is and then gold where the black is. I think that'll be like looking suit. And I think the good is this one. Color scheme's okay. I think they should have gone with black and red.
There is a black frame and there is a green frame and a gold frame of this.
Yeah, so they got varieties, but yeah, fucking samurai sword. That's all. Enough said. Samurai sword.
Yep.
Mean with a samurai cutting machine.
Probably the only one that wouldn't suffer a penalty for his battery. That's the one. Oh yeah, you know what? I'll put this as a comment. This is literally the series that decided, hey, your armor is based off of your battery life.
Oh jeez. Fair enough. All right, moving along.
And now we move to Gundam 00, a series that I personally enjoy. I'd probably put it in like my top 5. But so we got the Terra ground type on the far left. We got the Gundam Exia on the right, on the middle, I mean. And then we have, which one did I choose? We did choose Bushido's Flag Custom, which is a single solar reactor drive one, so it is on par with the current Gundams at the time that it's released. It is also a transformable mobile suit, and probably the only one on the fleet. Exia is close quarter combat with a mobile suit. It was also nicknamed Project 7 Sword. And that's about all I can really say without talking to your off of the whole series itself.
Fair enough. Well, we already know what the ugly one's going to be for me. It's going to be the one on the far left. What the hell were they doing? The design literally looks like a stapler just was put together with a bunch of fucking random objects. Like, what were they thinking on that?
I'll tell you right now, I chose the mercy kill this one. As much as I'm a fan of the design, there was one that was actually exponentially worse. Or two that were exponentially worse. There was a flight type version of this one, where the wings came from the butt, from basically, you know how some jet or some modern day jets they expand their wings
Yeah,
outward.
yeah.
So imagine this. Imagine the wings folding upwards and expanding out from basically from the ass.
That gives a whole new definition of butt glide.
And then the other worst one was the space type, which was literally all they did was remove the giant bulwark shield on the knee for two giant propulsion cans sticking straight forward.
The bad's gonna go on the far right. Color is fine. I wish there was a little bit more meat. She looks like I need to feed her a goddamn sandwich. Looks like a small gust of wind can blow her over.
Ironically, it's a flight type, so
That I can see why it's a flight type. There's no weight to it. So
yep.
by default, the middle wins.
Gundam X, yeah, is I would say realistically speaking, taking like original Gundam colors, they actually does seem to make this a lot better by removing the bit more of the white by changing the pauldrons to blue.
Yeah, I like that better. It's definitely not a bad design. Definitely looks nice and stuff, but the one on the right could have competed if it wasn't for those kind of things. I mean, look at the legs. The legs on the middle look so much better, and then this just looks like a freaking, stick. Then
Yeah.
you look at the stomach, and there's something there. You look over here, it's like, oh look, this little area right here. If I punch it hard enough, it should just sever top from the bottom. All
Yeah.
right. And I do like. I will say though, I do like maybe not on top of the helmet, but I like the visor of the helmet.
Yeah. It is another mono eye based mobile suit, the same with like the tier and ground type.
Hmm.
But I overall love a majority of the mono eye designed ones over a lot of the Gundam ones. There are some that are designed to look like Oni discs, which depending on who designs it at that time, can either good or really bad.
All right. And moving along.
And Gundam Unicorn, if you hated the white before, so Gundam Unicorn is basically the current ending to the Universal Timeline. So in a sense, this is a sequel to the Zeta line. I did lie.
See, this is why I have trust issues.
Both yes and no. I did lie and did not. It does not expand on the Zeta timeline too far, by the sense that it doesn't use any of the characters except for one singular character. But he doesn't have as much screen time as he did in the previous series. So that is the RXO Gundam Unicorn. It is a mobile suit that has the ability to transform itself by expanding its armor outwards to reveal an accent of red lining. I chose to go into use its normal mode as a way of just showing you what it will look like half the time when it's not in Super Saiyan form, for a lack of a better comparison. It also comes in RGB of both red, green, and blue. Also, is probably the flag bearer of the entire Gundam toy line. There will not be a single mobile suit that has several hundred variants as much as this one mobile suit. Which, trust me, I can tell you this right now, the Gundam community is virtually tired of that.
Understandable.
Next to it, we got the Sinanju Stein. Or not the Stein, the regular Sinanju. AKA Full Frontals mobile suit.
That's a red one, right?
Yep, that is right. You heard me correctly. The pilot's name is Full Frontal.
All right.
You can only imagine what he specializes in.
And who's the? You guys can't tell because I had to like squish the image together, but this was a rather chunky green one.
The Keshatir, what was it? The Kashatra is a unit. I can also botch the name of that sometimes. I do apologize in advance to everyone. Americans, what can we do about them?
Destroy the ship and all go down together.
Anyways, this is a mobile suit that is designed with the utmost versatility of heavy defense and heavy offense capabilities. Spore shield pauldrons are a threat to, or what was it? A force to be reckoned with, mostly because it comes with about, I'd probably say like 36 separate little drum funnel guns. So it will fly out everywhere. And when you first see this thing come out, it literally destroyed an entire squadron of Jestas like it was no one's business. And those things came with anti-ship weapons.
I'm assuming those things are all. I'm assuming this thing is also slow though to make up for the fact that it has heavy attack and heavy defense.
It is incredibly agile for its size.
Okay, that's just unfair.
And I will say, I haven't mentioned this up until this point. any of the Universal Century Timeline ones. A lot of characters in that series, because of the whole theory of a new evolution of humanity, this operator is a clone of a person that had like this sixth sense ability called New Type. So they were basically, think of it as like, for a sense of it, a Jedi with the Force when it comes to piloting a ship. They will basically have more cognitive capabilities of being able to outclass any normal pilot. All three of these are new type, or new type contenders, or new type clone in a sense. Apart from that, the one thing that makes this unit this unit very terrifying, it's basically everywhere you look on it, it has a weapon. So it's a very scrappy mobile suit if it ever got down to having to get close quarters and long range. You think that would be the protagonist suit, but you're wrong. Anyways, choose you're ugly.
We all know it's all white. That's just terrible.
Yeah.
It should have never been made.
Man, I can tell you right now, a lot of people in that series would probably agree with you, but for all the other wrong reasons.
Brian will probably be the one on the far right. He's a bit too chunky for me, which you guys can't see. But I'm also not a fan of shoulder blades. It's just my thing. I'm assuming he uses that to cover his whole body as he fires away in his defense, but I just don't like it. But I like this design in the middle here.
Sunanju is an elegant mobile suit, and it was hilarious because it is a stolen mobile suit. It wasn't ever developed by the faction who has it. And from what they always mention is like how it's such a nightmare of a mobile suit. It took care of like 6 patrolling destroyer ships that were chasing after it after it was stolen. It casually just destroyed all 3 of them.
Alright, moving along.
And then we move to the Iron-Blooded Orphans line. I can tell you this right now. A lot of people are going to hate me for this because it's a bait. So, we got the Hugo, which is a standard grunt mobile suit on the far left. This is designed as more of a close quarters anti-mobile suit type of Gundam, or not Gundam, standard grunt unit. This thing comes with 2 sickle hammers. Basically, it likes to latch on to people with, if it wasn't obvious by the design of it, by its feet, I should say, and go swinging straight down on them. This is more of a unit that's more capable of handling space combat than with its current roster of weapons and arsenal. Then the one in the middle is our main protagonist mobile suit, the Gundam Barbados, form. This here is basically the main lead protagonist's mobile suit that has been fitted with different sets of armor and weapon arsenal throughout the first season. This one is basically the reactive armor loadout. It was getting so sick and tired of being basically competitively javelined by a guy who has high mobility in space. So, what better way to counter it than with explosive armor? But the armor, of course, looks naturally hideous as fuck. And then we have the Regenlays, the upgraded version of the regular Gallowhorn faction's Grey's unit. It is essentially more versatile, stronger reactor engine, and depending on who is using it, some of them are designed for anti-mobile suit combat. But apart from that, this unit is more streamlined for standardized combat and faster reaction time. Now, go ahead and choose your mobile suit.
Yeah, no, they all fall into the ugly category. I can't give anyone above an ugly grade. This is an abomination of a lineup.
You wouldn't even give the Regenlays even the bad?
If I had to choose the best out of the 3, even though the head looked retarded, it would probably be the one on the far right.
I did went with that one being like the slightly more pretty option out of the bunch. Yeah, like I said, the Barbados has a lot nicer forms in either its original form, which was just a salvage look, its final form, which was more of like a Shogun look. But no, I went with the one that was literally designed to only fight one person. And the Hugo, I'm just not a fan of overall as well. I agree with you. I was never a fan of just like the way it's designed and everything. And it's hilarious to note that every other pilot puts themselves in the chest of the mobile suit. He is in the head. Like, you just imagine a straight round and going straight for a headshot. But yeah, that's virtually the Iron-Blooded Orphans line. This is also a series that was...
Orphans is a good term for them. They should be scrapped and just left to me.
Man, he's so fucked up.
He really is. I mean, it's ugly.
Alright, and that about does it. That is the whole lineup that we have for this episode. So, is there one that you would say you would probably be interested in checking out later down the line?
I'm gonna keep it up to you and stuff with the whole show and stuff. Mecha's just not my thing. The closest.
Well, I mean, Well, I mean, out of the options, out of the list of mobile suits that I presented to you, if you were to ever look at one at the series and be like, I guess I'll take a look at that one, which one actually spoke to you?
Whatever's in this wallpaper right here.
Oh yeah, actually, you know what? You remember the Barbados in the last one with that giant chest piece? Yeah, that's it without it.
Oh, fair enough.
He actually uses a katana a lot more in the first season than he does in the second.
Well, there you go. Yeah, no, closest I've ever really gotten them would be Darling in the Frank.
Ah, yes, a good one.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's fucking great and stuff. You know, guys sit straddled behind girls.
Grab them by the hips.
Yeah, because those, you know, like Shakira, them hips don't lie.
I will say, the ending, though, was definitely a fucking fever dream. Felt like that rushed, but I got too rushed.
It definitely was. I wish they would have just left it on a cliffhanger and then, like, announced season 2's coming. You know what I mean?
Or a Nova.
Yeah, it's a shame. It was such a good anime, too.
Yeah. But anyways, well, I would probably say if I had to pick another option for you for this list, it'd probably be the Goo, that one that you actually enjoyed the look of for the blue one. But overall, I might actually show you that clip later or after this because it's hilarious. You'll love how fucking Sigma energy that guy has. Man, did you see that highway? Man, that man flipped a bit.
So this has been episode 2 of the Gundam Greatness, or Mecha Madness. This has been episode 2. Yeah, the Wing Edition.
Ironically, minus the Gundam Wing series in this entire list.
Episode 3 should be coming relatively soon because now we got it figured out and stuff. It looks like I'm gonna be his co-host on this, so it's gonna be based on whenever you can get that stuff out to me. Now that I know how to do the slides and shit.
Yep. I will say this: I'm definitely planning OSTs and intro and opening and ending for the next episode, but it all depends on how well we can get past that dreaded aspect. The biggest hurdle of them all.
Crack cocaine.
Yeah.
No, just something else that starts with a C. Copyright.
Yep, gotta love DMCA's.
Yep.
Alrighty, folks, this has been Scholar and Lambency, and we will see you sometime.
Don't let him lie to you. He's lying, Your Honor. He doesn't plan on seeing you guys at all.
But look, if no one wants to repeatedly watch my content, then I guess I'll never see him again.
Oh no, whatever are we gonna do? It's like they're trying to turn down the curtains.